Okay, hello, Caroline.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming today. Today we're going to be discussing CJ's audiogram, and the first thing I want to do is discuss the three different parts of the ear with you. So, if you look at this diagram, we have the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. The outer ear consists of the auricle and the eardrum. The middle ear consists of the bones that vibrate and move sound, and then the inner ear has the semicircular canals, the cochlea, and the nerves. Now the nerves come off of it. Do you have any questions about the diagram?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of explain what happens when someone hears something. So the sound enters through the ear and passes through the ear canal. The waves hit the eardrum, which then moves the bone, sending signals to the cochlea and then on to the auditory nerve. And this, once it reaches the nerve, is like an electrical current that goes to the brain. Okay, we have two types of hearing loss. First is conductive hearing loss. Now this usually takes place from the middle ear back to the outer ear. And the second type of hearing loss is sensorineural, which happens in the inner ear. Okay, this, like an example of this might be damage to the hair cells that are, with the cochlea, or if the nerve is damaged or missing. Okay, so do you have any questions about the parts of the ear?
No.
Okay. And then something else that I want to mention is we also have bilateral hearing loss and unilateral hearing loss. Now in CJ's case, it's a bilateral hearing loss, meaning he has hearing loss in both ears. Now some children or people might have a unilateral loss, which would just be in one ear. And then something else that we might want to talk about is progressive, stable, and fluctuating. Now, we've talked before, and you know that CJ has a stable hearing loss, meaning it's not changing at all. And other people, someone might have a progressive loss where it's different. And I know a lot of times this might be from fluid in the ear, different things like that. And then we also have a progressive hearing loss, which means that hearing is continually getting worse. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at CJ's audiogram and with the speech banana. So on the actual audiogram, you have different parts. As you can see, we have markings here, and the O stands for the right ear and the X stands for the left ear. Okay, so you can see that here, and I've also marked it on the speech banana so that we can see what sounds CJ might be able to hear and the degree of hearing loss. So this yellow banana looking picture here shows where most of the sounds for speech are heard. And if you look close, you can see I've already marked CJ's or plotted CJ's audiogram on the speech banana. So let's go over the different degrees of hearing loss first, and then we'll talk about where CJ's is. So if you have normal hearing, you're going to hear between 0 and 25 decibels. Okay, that's normal hearing. A mild hearing loss would be between 25 and 40. A moderate would be between 40 and 70. Severe between 70 and 90. And profound 90 to 120. So as you can see, CJ really lies within the severe to profound range. And you can see different pictures that are here labeled, like at this area of, this, he might be able to hear a dog barking. And some other things that are much louder, a jet, a rock band, but he's not going to be able to hear a leaf falling from a tree or a bird chirping or water dripping, so you can kind of see where his lies. Now if you look over here to the left, we have two different ways to measure sound. We have the loudness, okay, how loud a sound is, and that's measured in decibels. And then we have the pitch, the high or low frequency, and that's measured in hertz. So the hertz, 125 to 5,000, and then the loudness is 0 to 120. So as you can see, and we've already talked about this, CJ at this point, unless he were to have some sort of hearing technology, he's not going to have access to any of these speech sounds. Okay, so how is that going to affect him, with his auditory development and speech development? I mean, unless we can get him within the speech banana, he's not going to develop those things. So did you have any questions about that?
No.
Any questions about how we measure sound or his degree of hearing loss?
No.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming today.
You're welcome.